Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Looper Talk. My name is Tim Palmer. It's the 4th episode. Hell yeah. We're in it now. So I'm in the middle of a PGA politics series, and tonight I'm going to finish up that series with some solutions. We're going to talk about how to get more money in the PGA assistant pros and head professionals pocket, and then we're going to talk about some solutions on how we can fix the PGA Tour and what we can do for Q School and a junior golf program that would be a program that would allow low-income families to have their kids participate and it be recorded as a national tournament. So let's recap first. Actually, we need to get into caddy corner right off the gate. Let's start off with a little caddy tip in the caddy corner.
It's a bread on the plate, she a eater. Needs a bread on the plate for the feature. I'm a beast, look boy, I'm a creature.
I'm going to talk about a situation or a phrase. Really, there it was. A word really is the word. But what that word means and why we hate it so much. So, if those who don't know, in the caddy world, the word really, man, I don't get it. It doesn't, maybe it's just me, but I think it's a lack of trust. It's like a trust issue deal, because most of the people that I've caddied for either own their own business, manage people, or have a place of power. And so to take orders from me, I believe they feel out of place. And some people that we get have really hard trust issues, maybe. So that would be my assumption. However, it tends to be very annoying, especially for me. So I have an idea what we can fix this on both ends. Very simple. If you're one of those players that has trust issues, and even if you get a caddy that's a veteran, been there a long time, and you cannot trust him or her, just internalize it. If we give you a read, accept it. And then do whatever the fuck you want. We don't care. Fine. We would rather you just not say anything. Just be like, okay, right edge. And then aim left edge. Fuck it. And then watch it. Either two situations will happen. It's your vacation. It's not. What offends us is the open honesty that you're not giving us trust, because we really want you to play well. That's what makes us feel like we're going to get paid more. The better you play, the better chance I have of being paid. And so the end goal for both of us is to do well. And if we have trust issues, it's not going to allow us to really do well. So for us, we want to guide you. That's it. You make the final call, right? So just maybe one really around, maybe two. But just internalize the shit, man. All you have to do, just internalize it. All right, so let's talk about the PGA of America and what we can do to get some professionals some money, right? So, um, for those who coming in late or still are a little confused, what we're talking about. Again, the PGA of America is not the PGA Tour. These are your professionals at your golf course. The average salary is not very high. It's 52,000 and some change, and your annual cost of living is $78,000. So there is a gap there that needs to be fixed. We are not paying our professionals enough money, excuse me. And also the problem within the PGA of America is the PGM universities, how these students acquire so much debt out of college and yet only obtain a job that pays them this $52,000 a year salary. So, what I want to show you is this 5-step program that ChatGPT has created from me forcing it to. So, I will show you what I'm talking about. There we go. Start at the top. Okay, so it's a 3-year program. It's an acceleration program, and its plan is to gather income or gather revenue to heighten the income for these professionals. So we can see here and we talked about this during the second episode. The PGA of America makes quite a bit of money off of 2 tournaments. That is the Ryder Cup and the PGA Championship. So therefore, they're talking about some allocation money from that. They're also talking about capping the CEO right there. And then, which that's awesome. That $2 million there per year, that'll help out a ton. There's a revenue pool, which I believe the PGA Tour can also fund, right? And then we have some other stuff here. The employer co-match is interesting because what that talks about is having transparency across the board for golf courses to show their salaries. So each golf course has a mandatory, I would say, duty to express to the golf world what they pay their professionals. And so that would give incentive for certain golf courses to raise their rates due to the competition factor. And you can see the implementation here. Here's your revenue sharing pool with the PGA and the Ryder Cup mandatory pay ranges. That would be from the transparency deer right here. There you go. Right, so this is, and feel free to look at it more. All right, folks, I'm back. Sorry, got interrupted by the fam. Yeah, I was showing you a document of the plan to help the PGA of America have a way to get its professionals some money. So the whole point of me showing you that document was to see if anyone have maybe some use for it. My email is loopertalk1927@gmail.com. Please feel free to email me. I will send you this document. If we can get it in the right people, maybe we can implement some of these ideas to help get these professionals some money. So that'd be cool to see. So now let's talk about the PGA Tour. Let's talk about how that could help fund some of the PGA of America and fund other things as well. And then we will wrap up with, as a whole, what I think needs to, where this is, why this is happening. And it's very interesting to me that No one's said these things yet. I feel like I'm the first one saying these things out loud. So maybe I'll create awareness. That would be my main goal. All right, so let's screen share something, and I want to show you. Okay, so I commented on my last video. I believe I said they lost money 3 out of the last 5 years. It's only 2. So forgive me, brand new podcaster here. So I'm trying to, could be wrong, and it might only be 1. I think I almost, from what I've heard, they lost money in 2024. So yeah, they lost money here. Sorry, lost money here. And then they were positive from 2020 to 2020 to 2025. Mostly there, yeah. See, everything else is positive. But the whole point of all this is I want to show you the income of these people. Okay, look how much Rory McIlroy got paid for just being a player director. 23.8 million. We got Tiger at 20.6 million. Jordan Spieth 16 million, practically 15.9. And Patrick Cantlay at 12.7. So we have to ask ourselves, how much money do you need to live on? Do you need $23 million? It's not even that. He got 25. He got 1.1 for other. And then he had his earnings from all the money. That dude has made so much money. So why not salary cap these players down to 2 million, 1 million, 2 million, and use all this extra money and put in that pool to help out with these assistant golf professionals. I mean, this is incredible to me. How much money? That's incredible to me. So you get the point, right? And this is the source. It's ProPublica. So the PGA Tour has plenty of money to help out the PGA of America. That's obvious. Those are just salaries within the organization. We're not talking sponsorships. We're not talking fundraisers. There is so much opportunity there, and they decide not to do it. So it needs to be done. That would help out. But pivoting off of this, I want to get into Q School. Talk about how much it is. I get a lot of numbers, anywhere between 16 to 18,000. With lodging, it would I would assume it's somewhere in the 30s. So either way, it's a lot of money. Please tell me your story down below. Comment on it. Tell me your Q School story. I want to know. I would love to know how much you spend. I would love to know your situation. That's why I'm here. I want to platform the people that deserve the opportunity and that don't. I'm here to make a difference. So please comment below if you have anything that involves Q School, your stories, what you gain from it, what you think I'm saying is right or wrong. I would love to hear your story. So, anyways, Q School costs a lot of money. And I believe the PGA Tour is lacking true talent. There is very talented players out there. I'm not going to say there isn't. But there is a certain level of passion. There's a certain level of love for the game that you can see in these players' eyes that is not, it's not prevalent. It's not it's not the same look that you would see a guy like Ben Hogan, or even Tiger Woods in his prime. There's a different love there. And I think because the PGA Tour makes so much money and these players make so much money that it has turned into a business, like I said last episode. The threshold is integrity, and we have sacrificed quite a bit of our integrity and core of the sport for money. And that's the core problem of the golf world is greed. Greed has ruined, I don't want to say ruined. I would rather say began to deplenish the game of golf. It is taking out the roots from it. It is killing it from the inside out. And we're not seeing the effects now, but that's why, to me, professional golf is slowly starting to die because of the financial problem that it deals with. And one of those portals for that problem to help fix it is Q School. If we made Q School more accessible, one, two, affordable, we would then have players that would be able to qualify from all social classes, lower, middle, or upper. But I believe that's why the game of football and the game of basketball, for example, still have, which I hate saying because they don't, but there's a level of excitement there because, or used to be rather, but because all social classes were able to access it. Therefore, we were able to locate the players that truly were passionate about the game, whereas I believe golf is very specific to the upper class because of the financial structure. Therefore, most of the time, or I wouldn't say most of the time, you have a higher chance of finding players that have alternative motives because it is so selective of a group of people that are able to be a part of that organization, right? So I believe in order to maintain the integrity of the organization and the sport, we need to learn how to make it accessible for every class of people. And that needs to happen with something like Q School. If we can make that affordable, I believe that will allow this problem to fix itself. And then, pivoting off of that, what's even more prevalent is junior golf. And junior golf is not getting any cheaper. And there is many, I've already heard a few stories told to me in the 3 episodes that I've done of young adults that are blue collar people, and their dad would take them to a driving range nearby and they would just hit balls, and but they have stories where their family told them they would never access golf because they couldn't afford it, and they grew up thinking that that was how it is. And so that's where our culture has headed, is this pristine sport that is catering to the rich. And if we can create a junior golf program that is affordable and that has national coverage to it, I think we can really have a chance to allow some of these families and these juniors to aspire to the game and to want to be a part of it. To get that going, we would need funding. And to me, I don't see why we can't have funding from the PGA Tour. With all this money that they have access to, why can't there be a junior tournament that follows the PGA Tour? Every tour event, there's a municipal golf course next door that hosts a junior event, right? And this junior event can be free, and they take 10 to 15, maybe 20% of the purse money, and they use that for that event to help out with these juniors, why can't the players donate that? Is that too much to ask of them? And I don't know if they would do that. And to me, if they won't do that, that would be a cool question to ask them publicly. Why can't there just be a junior event where every tour event stop is? That's a nearby golf course, that's a public golf course that would get exposure and that would allow these junior golfers to get in front of D1 coaches. Win-win, not to mention they don't have to go outside the box and be like, okay, I have to travel here, travel there. Wherever the tour is, I'll bring the junior golf tour people with them and we can just travel as one big unit. I don't know. Maybe charge $20 a head. Make it so affordable that kids, fucking you knows, man. Gosh dang it. I can't even help it sometimes. It's just like, you know, you know, fuckers. Anyways, it would be really cool to give these same opportunities not only to the Q school individuals that would like to see that happen, these junior golfers that need access to national tournament coverage. The PGA Tour can easily afford both of that. Make Q School free, have a junior golf tour that's cheap, provide people on salary that deal with both. Have some of the tour players go to the junior events, talk to them. And that's what brings me to the end of all this with the PGA politics. Because we have solutions to what I believe is the issue. And to reiterate really what the issue is and why I feel like this is also a spiritual issue, because this started back when the PGA Tour separated from the PGA of America. And these are my thoughts to wrap up everything, and further on we will maybe bounce off these topics here and there, but this is my 2 cents on everything. I really love being a part of the PGA of America. And no, I have not been treated very well, to say the least. And I do believe the PGA of America has good intentions, and I think they're a great organization. However, I believe there is issues within the organization that are at fault, and maybe it has nothing to do with them, or maybe it does. I can't say whether or not it does. But what I do know is there is issues that need to be fixed. What I will say is I believe the PGA Tour has a lot that it needs to reflect on. To me, the greed that is within that organization is gross. It has bled on to the other parts of this country, and not to mention the other organizations within this country. I think the golf world is starting to slowly hinder because of it. I believe we got too invested in Jack Nicklaus, and then we've gotten too invested in Tiger Woods. And Tiger Woods brought a lot of money to the game. It has perverted the minds of the people involved. And the ones that do all the grunt work at the pro shops, they are the ones suffering now because of greed, corporate greed. It is simple as that. The PGA Tour needs to allocate more money in the golf community to help the golf community become more accessible, because at the end of the day, whether there is some that enjoy trying to be a professional and some making it to being a professional, most of it is a recreational pastime. And while we do have country clubs that have beautiful courses, our public golf courses are going the other way. It's a 10-to-1 ratio according to ChatGPT, closure to open. At least that's what I was told. And we have to really get ahead of this fast before we lose sight of what we're doing it for, because the modern public, the middle class, is not relating to the golf community lately. That's why the Tiger effect is not there, because we need another Tiger Woods. And I think the problem is we keep thinking that person will just show up. However, we have made golf accessibility so narrow that it's provided such a small window for that opportunity that we are kicking our own selves in the foot. So, going forward, the more we make golf accessible, the better our chances are of getting that talent that America needs to entertain, because golf is entertainment. It is not a business. Yes, we are allowed to make money from it, but we also need to realize what we're doing. We are not saving the world. We are hitting a white ball in a glorified field. I know that's wild to think, but that's at the end of it. That is what we are doing. So that is it for the PGA Politics series. It's a 3-part series. That was more or less, that was just a name from my underlying shit. I enjoy being a part of the PGA. It's the golf. I love golf. It's awesome. It's found me. I didn't mean to find it. So, and yeah, I want to create a platform for people in general. Would love to have some conversations outside of golf. I am definitely going to try and host some caddies here in the near future. I want to create a platform for you all, especially caddies. Like, that's my number one there. I don't care where you've caddied or what you're. Really, I don't care if you're even in the golf business. If you want to just have a conversation, that's really what I'm here for me. But I enjoy hearing people's stories, especially your Q school stuff. That's always fun to me. And I would like to be an open platform for people so they have opportunity to share their story, and we create conversation about it. So, however, going forward, my next few episodes are going to be much more random on the kind of the lighter side of things. So, thank y'all for tuning in. Welcome, I want to say welcome, huh? Another episode of Looper Talk. My name is Tim Palmer. And remember, lighten your bags, 200 to strap. Lighten your bags, 200. Thank y'all. Have a good night.